If you like a big back, not in that way, Ollie Gordon might just be the guy for you. After an incredible 2023 season where he finished 7th in Heisman voting after 1,700 rushing yards and 21 touchdowns, Ollie Gordon was in competition to be a top 5 back in this class. However, with the emergence of the other backs and with a really disappointing combine, he is dropped down the board. But is there still a chance he can compete in the NFL? If you enjoy this content, please consider liking and subscribing, as I take a little bit of a deep dive into one of the more powerful backs in this class. There is definitely a lot to like about Ollie Gordon's film, particularly if you go back and watch that dominant 2023 season where he was absolutely elite on the ground. And because he is a more physical player, one of the main things that you notice is the tackle breaking ability and contact balance. This is someone who absolutely feasts on contact and is willing to break through tackles, head into players, and grind out those extra yards, which is something that an NFL team is definitely going to like. One of the ways that he works differently to other backs in this class is that he's more about using his physicality to break tackles than he is just trying to evade tacklers in open space. So it's more about the stiff arm, which is absolutely brutal, and then lowering the shoulder into contact to try and bowl a tackler over, or a would-be tackler over, to grind out a few extra yards after contact. This means that he has a great nose for the end zone and will be a good short yardage back in the NFL. He also has a good size and speed combination. The 4.6 140 was obviously disappointing, but I did see a good burst on film. And for the kind of profile back that he's going to be in the NFL, this isn't too disappointing. He's not going to be someone that breaks a play open for 70 yards, but he is going to be someone that can consistently grind out the tough yardage for you. I also did think he had good initial burst, which works well when paired with his ability to be patient behind the line of scrimmage. He's one of the more patient backs in this class, which is a good thing for his running style. It means that he waits for a lane to develop, waits for blocks to set up, and then can burst through the line and get downhill quickly, following those blocks, but then the moment they're gone, he is barreling himself straight into the nearest defender to try and bowl them over. This back profiles a little bit differently from a lot of the others in this class. I don't think Gordon has the potential for a 3-down workload, but I definitely think on early downs, short yardage, and on the goal line, this is someone who can definitely become a role player in the NFL. One of the main weaknesses that I saw from Gordon's game is that I think he is a very linear runner. This is someone who likes working downhill and is just north to south. Now, 20 to 30 years ago, he would have been one of the most dominant backs in the NFL. But with rushing schemes changing and more being about being able to work the edges as well as being able to work north-south, and backs slowly becoming lighter and more explosive, this just means that he's not a great fit for modern offenses, especially not in a 3-down workload. I think he has so much stiffness in his hips, and I think it means that he lacks lateral agility and quickness. One of the first things that I will say in these videos is I like someone with explosive lateral agility. That means that they can cut back quickly, make defenders miss on a dime, and also be able to bounce things around so that they can find the right hole and explode through it. This isn't something that I really saw from Gordon. I think the hips are so stiff that even though he is great working north-south, it just means that he can't really work horizontally. The other issue that I saw from him is that while he loves contact, he runs way too high. I think that he will struggle to consistently break the same amount of tackles in the NFL as he has in college because the athletic level is going to improve and he won't be able to bowl defenders over in the same way that he did when he was in college. I also think he lacks some nuance in the receiving game. I think he's well suited in the screen game because obviously that's about standing still and then going north-south. But I think when he's working on a different combination of routes, because he did see an alright workload in college, I think he lacks the ability to run routes because of the stiffness in his hips. And I just think it's going to make him a very easy player to stop because I think he's going to be incredibly easy to guard, whether it's a corner, a safety, or a linebacker, because I think they're going to be more able to run horizontally than Gordon is. Just because Gordon is a limited player doesn't mean he's not going to have a role in the NFL, and the player that I've compared his playstyle to is Tyler Algier. Now, Algier obviously had an incredible rookie season, breaking 1,000 yards on the ground and scoring a fair few touchdowns. But the moment Bijan Robinson came into town, he's been relegated to an RB2, occasionally coming on the field to spell Bijan and having way too much end zone work than we thought he would. Algier is a limited player. He's a larger back and someone who's great on the goal line or in short yardage situations, which is why I see a comparison here to Ollie Gordon. Now, when it comes to the NFL, you're going to want to pair Gordon in a thunder and lightning type situation. If you can get him purely working in short yardage areas, running between the tackles, and also on the goal line, this is definitely someone that can see success. If you're drafting him for a 3-down workload, I don't think that's going to work. And that's one of the reasons why he's projected to go on day 3, when there are so many backs projected to go on day 2 in this class. I think he finds a home somewhere in the 4th or 5th round, and hopefully he finds somewhere that he could be paired with a more explosive back, like for example in Tampa Bay, where they have Bucky Irving to do a lot of the receiving work and to also be their explosive play merchant. They could use a back like Gordon on the goal line to spell Bucky Irving and to just gain 2 yards when they need to on 3rd down to then bring the more explosive weapon out onto the field. In terms of rookie draft value, I think you can take him in the 3rd. You may gather from the video that this isn't my favourite back in the class, but it wouldn't surprise me if he could consistently see 6 to 12 touchdowns a season, just because I do think he has a nose to the end zone, and I do think he's physical in a way that a lot of the other backs in this class aren't, especially those being drafted later down the board. But if you're looking for upside, I think it's better to look elsewhere, because I don't think Gordon is going to see a 3-down workload when he hits the NFL. If you're still in love with Ollie Gordon from the 2023 tape and you think he has a chance to dominate in the NFL, let me know down below in the comments. And while you're there, please consider subscribing and checking out all of the other rookie profiles available on my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.